Welcome back to this Moneycontrol live stream. You're watching Closing Bell with me, Nandita, Khemka, and my colleague.
Hello there, I'm Yatin Mota.
Well, Yatin, good day. You've come back on a good day. Yesterday, of course, you weren't there, and but still we saw good momentum yesterday, which got carried over to today, given the fact that we managed to reclaim that 25,100 mark, although briefly, but we have still managed to shut shop above that 25,000 mark. A triple-digit up move coming in on the Nifty. So you can call it a terrific Tuesday. Given the fact that we've had a couple of down days or some down days last week as well. But the action was clearly in the mid and small cap in this space as well today. The mid cap index was up in excess of 1%. Even the small cap index gained over 1% or thereabouts. Advanced decline ratio firmly in favor of gainers. If you look at the advanced decline ratio on the NSE, 5:2. That was the advanced decline ratio. 1,700 shares advancing to 700 shares declining. Sectorally, if you see the top performers were IT. Of course, there's a upbeat report that's coming from Motilal Oswal, and where they've noted that the IT sector could actually be on the cusp of recovery, and that drove very strong gains on the IT pack. Realty and metals were the other pockets that did well today. What didn't do well today was the PSU banking pack. PSU banks have been under selling pressure of late, and continuing that losing streak, we saw the PSU bank index end in the red, and so did the energy pack. But let's also take a look at the individual movers then. On the Nifty, in terms of top gainers, you had Divi's Lab, some of the IT names, LTIM, Wipro, HCL Tech, these were some of the gainers. TCS also managed to do well today. Bharti Airtel, Power Grid, NTPC, Bajaj Auto, these were some of the other movers. On the flip side, the losers list was dominated by life insurers. The data for August came in yesterday, not very enthusing, and HDFC Life and SBI Life emerging as the top laggards on the index. Bajaj Twins also under selling pressure, and so was Shriram Finance, which saw good traction yesterday on the back of a UBS upgrade. But today, some bit of profit taking. Hero Moto, after Aether Energy has filed for its IPO, the stock is under pressure today. ONGC and some of the consumption names like HUL also came under selling pressure after yesterday's gains. ONGC, of course, big laggard yesterday as well, and today also continuing the losing streak. But Yatin, what's up in the broader end of the markets? That's where the action was.
Yeah, the action was broadly in the mid cap and small cap space. Both the indices were higher by more than 1% each. So the mid cap index on the NSE and the small cap index gaining by nearly 1.2% each. The advanced decline ratio is also great. Almost 3 stocks gaining for only 1 declining. That is the kind of market breadth that we saw for Nifty 500. In the gainings stock, as Nandita was mentioning, a lot of auto stocks were in focus. In the mid-cap space, Prism Johnson, that stock moved 20% higher. All Cargo Logistics, Jubilant Ingreva. In fact, most of the Jubilant group companies saw some uptick. What was not doing well is HDFC Life. After the monthly data came in, that stock saw 5% cut. Oil India, after weakness in crude, that stock is witnessing some profit, taking 4% down for that one. And Uno Minda and other auto ancillary also witnessing some bit of profit taking. Overall, a good day for mid caps, especially the small caps.
That's true, which is why I have one of the mid cap stocks on my radar, Yatin, Suzlon. At one point in time, we used to talk about this stock almost daily, but of course, it's a multi-bagger stock. Of late, in the last 1.5 months, it has seen some bit of consolidation, but today the stock was up 5%, locked in upper circuit, given the fact that it has won India's largest renewable energy order from NTPC's green energy arm, worth nearly 1.17 gigawatts. Now, with this order win, the cumulative order book, it's at highest ever tally of 5 gigawatts, Yatin. And in fact, under this order, Suzlon will install 370 wind turbine generators, which will generate electricity to power 3 million households, Yatin. And this, of course, marks the company's first direct wind energy order from NTPC Green, and also marks its return to the PSU customer segment, right? Because the company has not really been able to bid for PSU orders, given the fact that its net worth was in the negative. But with this, of course, it's a large order win, and it's a notable achievement for Suzlon. In fact, the company or management has also said that this is one of the first of the many orders that it could forge with NTPC Green Energy. Now, the project will be executed across 3 sites in Gujarat. Suzlon will supply the wind turbines and execute the project, including erection and commissioning. And it will also undertake operations and maintenance services post the commissioning. We also have, a Morgan Stanley report on Suzlon, where they have an overweight rating, target price of 73, which is not much higher than where it is at right now. Of course, it has noted the company's return to the PSU segment or PSU order win after a long time, and it says that this large contract offers earnings visibility over FY26 to FY27 for the company. As I mentioned, Yatin, Suzlon, of course, has doubled on a 6-month basis. Even YTD returns are in excess of 100%. And over the last 1 year, it has been a multi-bagger stock, 3x kind of returns. But since mid-August, the stock has come under some bit of selling pressure. It has been stuck in a range. We get a lot of queries as to whether or not the stock would hit 100 rupees or not. But technical analysts are still wary, saying that it's not going to happen very soon.
Absolutely, and the solar and wind renewable energy space has been buzzing. The recent IPO, Nandita, Premier Energies, issue price was 450, settled at 800. Today the stock is at 1200. So, from the listing day close, we have a 50% move on that stock and nearly 3 times versus the IPO price. So, solar and wind, the sector has tailwinds of its own. But one sector which is in focus is from Motilal Oswal, which is IT. Obviously, this is one sector which has tailwinds according to Motilal Oswal, because the recovery from here on will be faster in IT stocks, and hence they are bullish on 4 stocks. Number 1 is HCL Technologies, LTI Mindtree, number 3 is Persistent, and number 4 is Coforge. Now, all of the stocks have seen target price hikes by Motilal, and they believe that the sector could see an upswing, because of which there could be some upside in all of these stocks. If you talk about HCL Technologies, one of the cheapest stocks, target has been raised to 2200. So, from the current market price, good move can be expected here. And similarly, Coforge and Persistent also are on radar of Motilal Oswal, and they have increased the target price.
Right, that's true, Yatin. And even Coforge, you mentioned, the company, of course, had made an acquisition recently, Cigniti. The street was concerned at that point of time with when it comes to synergies. But Motilal Oswal has pointed out that the synergies will be there from this recent acquisition, and it also expects healthy growth in Coforge's executable order book for its core business. Of course, there have been quite a few reports coming in on the IT sector of late. Morgan Stanley also came out with a report recently. It said that although the run-up has been quite significant for IT stocks, but it's very soon to cut your overweight positions on some of these IT names. And mid-cap IT stocks, some of them also find favor with most of these brokerages. And TCS, that's one company that is well placed to cash in on the recovery that could kick in after the Fed rate cycle kicks in, rate cut cycle kicks in. So that was about the IT pack in focus over the last few sessions. A lot of brokerage reports have come in since then, and of course next week it is the all important Fed meet on the 18th, and post that we'll see how IT stocks really behave. But the other stock on my list is Sona Comstar, Sona BLW. Of course, it has raised somewhere around 2,400 crore rupees through the QIP route. It garnered very strong interest from investors. QIP saw subscription of somewhere around 5.5 times the shares on offer. And SBI Mutual Fund has been allotted 25% of the shares on offer, and ICICI Prudential Flexi Cap has been issued 8.3% of the total shares on offer. The company has approved 3.47 crore shares to eligible institutional buyers at the rate of 690 rupees per share. The management has said that the QIP proceeds will be used to fund organic as well as inorganic growth. And of course, last week or just a few days ago, we heard source-based news that the company is in talks with Escorts to acquire its railway engineering business. Now, the QIP proceeds, according to reports, is to fund this acquisition, and the deal with Escorts could be done at a valuation of somewhere around 2,000 crore rupees. For FY24, Escort Kubota's railway engineering business reported revenues of 950 crore rupees of their contributing 11% to the company's overall top line for the June quarter. In fact, the Sona Comstar management was on CNBC today, and they said that they are capturing much more market share as compared to the industry growth, and the growth is expected to come from exports, from technology development, etc. And they've also noted that there has been a dip in PV demand, right, passenger vehicle demand, due to high inventories and rains, but that is just cyclical in nature, and that will reverse, and the growth opportunity there is still very promising. And they are also working on capacity expansion, and they are exploring acquisitions in technology and the entire mobility space as well. And of course, they plan to invest over 1,000 crore rupees over the next few years. So it's the acquisition of the escorts railway engineering business that would be in spotlight. Still a source-based news. I think we are awaiting confirmation, and looks like the IPO proceeds will be used to fund that. We'll of course wait and watch as to what updates come in the coming days. But the stock, Yatin, is up just about 12% on a YTD basis. So given the way the broad end of the markets have moved and some of the stocks have performed, the performance for Sona BLW has been muted, so to say. But let's see, post the railway engineering business acquisition, if that happens, let's see if the stock gets re-rated or not.
I think post the IPO, we have seen a steady return for Sona BLW. Obviously, last 6 months have been not that great. But the markets were expecting that Tesla would put in a plant in India. And Sona BLW is already a vendor to them. So the electric vehicle theme has already probably played out. And now I think acquisition is one thing that the markets will be watching out for. And as you were mentioning, that 2,400 crore QIP witnessing 5 times plus demand clearly shows the institutional interest. And probably from here on, it will be interesting to watch as to what is the management's inorganic growth plan, as well as the outlook on electric vehicle segment, especially for the overseas market.
Well, then that was Sona BLW, and those were all the stocks that were on our radar. We are leaving on a happy note, given the fact that 25,000 is back on the charts. Let's see what unfolds tomorrow. Of course, we have US CPI and PPI data to watch out for. That would give some clarity as to whether or not the Fed will go for a 25 basis point rate cut or a 50 basis point rate cut. For now, we are factoring in a rate cut. A rate cut at least. So let's see. But yes, with that, of course, it's a wrap on this edition of Closing Bell from me and Yatin. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Stay tuned to Money Control for all your other news and updates.
Thank you.